Stan Winston School of Arts a Wendigo?
No. We are live. Okay. So I have Demogorgon feet to finish. I have Demogorgon hands to do. And I got to make a little hood thing to cover back of his head and his neck, because that is currently not covered on the mask and the suit. So I got to find something for that. But first I'm going to get these still covers painted the same body, the same gray as the body, at least kind of close. It is going to be a painty night white, so you could put this on, giving her a little respirator man.
You'll be able to hear me okay?
I can hear you. I don't think they'll be able to hear you, but that's okay. So yeah, this is all about color matching pretty much. I'm going to get a little bit brighter than the bodysuit as far as that gray color goes, and then I'm going to knock it down because most of my detail is done in, you know, black. Black is darker. Cold out. Shake your paint, kids. Shake your paint. About a minute after you hear the ball start moving. Many bad spray paint jobs are from poorly mixed paint. And Rue, when he was here, he was trying to do this crap. Thought he was mixing the paint. No, you gotta shake the paint. Gotta travel the full length of the can. How we do it. Cool.
Everyone is saying hello. The saga continues. They're enjoying watching this build up. Michael Lassiter, Twin Oaks.
Hello, Michael Lassiter. Twin Oaks is Michael Skullberg. In case you're wondering who that was, their wife.
Oh, I don't
Dude.
I have a t-shirt.
Later, he'll probably make dick jokes.
Oh, okay.
Because Skullberg.
I'm gonna run and grab a sweater. Grab that.
Okay, now I've got to turn this guy around here. So I can paint the back. Working on your first scarecrow. That's awesome, Glenn. Shannon will be here shortly. She went to grab a sweater because she's cold. Hello, art lady. Blunzer. Hello. Okay. Awkward moment while I try and turn the mannequin around. Turn around every now and then. I grab these legs. Turn around. That went way better than it should have gone. Although I'm not done yet. It's not like standing up on its own or anything. Looks like it's staying. That's good. And this, I'm just spray painting, guys. Nothing fancy, nothing awesome. I'm just spray painting. It's a nice fabric. Fabric has enough texture. It's going to hold, you know, the paint really well, which is good.
Hoodie of paint.
Okay.
We have hoodies.
Okay. So I feel like it's a pretty close gray. Once I spray the black detail on there. I think that's all we're going to have to do to these guys. I'm going to undo this. See how red that was before? Just in case it shows, you know, it might not hold up exactly the same way.
I'm in my garage right now working on my first scarecrow.
I saw that one. That's great. That was
Saw
Glenn,
this.
right?
Yeah, Skullberg says you say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I didn't.
He says we need to hang out more. We are entirely too busy.
Indeed, my friend, indeed.
I very much love learning from you. It encourages me to try new stuff on my own, and it turned out to be really good. That is Rob with Rob.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm very fortunate that a lot of the stuff I try on my own turns out pretty good. Okay, really fixed that this time. Great. I think tomorrow I'll bring a can of gray spray paint and a can of black spray paint just to make sure that I have what I need. Hairs that are needed. Remember the feet that I did yesterday? Well, I haven't done anything else on them. I was saving it all for you. That's a nice skin on there now though. Certainly enough for me to paint it. Let's paint this thing. Now, I didn't fill as much as I wanted to with the leak seal. I didn't do enough coats, I don't think, but it's fine. Get this out of the way. Do the next one. Yeah, see, the suit is actually much darker than this gray, but that's great because by the time I put all the other black on there, it's going to balance out with this. I might have to do some sewing tonight, which could be interesting.
I put this on and went, holy crap, what is he building with stilts? This is Psycho Axeman.
Oh, you haven't been on in a while, Psycho. It's a Demogorgon. I did the whole suit live videos, so you might want to check that out. I'm doing this for a Stranger Things convention that is on Sunday. Well, it was today and yesterday. Today was the wrap party for Dark Hour, and that went very well. Okay, so I've got 2 feet ready to go. And I'm gonna speed up my life by not even doing airbrush. I'm just gonna spray paint these a little bit with that first layer of detail. That's dark walnut. I don't want that. I want an actual black.
Skullberg says, how much do you want for this when it's done?
Well, I need to use it for the show Sunday, and then we'll see how much damage I've done to it.
For my scarecrow, I would like to implement some barbed wire, but want to keep it safe. Any ideas for manufacturing my own?
Absolutely. Take cotton twine, not sisal twine, but cotton twine, and then dip it in gray latex paint and do however long you want it, and then the other piece, the latex paint will kind of act like a glue too, and just wrap it around. But there's all kinds of fake barbed wire tutorials online.
Where'd you get those Krampus horns?
Which Krampus horns? I don't know what you're talking about.
The twisty ones.
Those ones over there? On this guy, the white one? Those are antelope horns from Elope. Elope. A Stranger Things convention, which is here in Dallas. Okay. Let me get the other foot to this point. Not laying it on heavy, I'm just letting it be some shading. Perfect. Now I'm going to turn on my air compressor. I do have some airbrushing that I'll have to do on both the stilt covers here and on the feet. Grab some black first.
How hard is it to walk on those in full costume?
I don't think it's that hard. It's just, it's just stilt walking with a little bit bigger feet on there. They're not an advantage. They're definitely a disadvantage, but it's not terrible. Full of crap. I don't want it to be.
Look at you.
Okay, I thought I'd put on a mask too. It's a little thick in here with the spray paint. You lift me up. You milk crate. You milk crate. I'm painting on some claws, just so, you know, a little more depth to the foot. But I don't want any actual claws that'll catch and make it harder to walk, or, you know, you're gonna rip off the toe.
Is this costume for Alan?
No, this is actually, Robert Corey is gonna wear it tomorrow. I have no long-term plans for this costume.
Where's a good place to buy clown hair? Online or in Fort Worth, Dallas?
Go towards the most ghetto-y area that you can and go to a beauty supply store or a wig shop. And you will find lots of nice wig hair places. Just emulating the striping and the work that I did on the bodysuit on these on this. You have to get both those tones to match. And this is still a little bit lighter than it ought to be for this.
I'm working on a Krampus setup for Christmas in my front yard. Hopefully I win it. It's $100, but it's more pride.
Well, very cool. Good luck to you. And if you think that I have a plan of how I'm doing this, you are wrong. I'm just kind of winging it. You know, I'm doing, well, what'll make it look nice? And that's what I'm trying to do. I think that's going to work. I think that is painted enough. So I got me some little toes there. And what's important is that it's part of a whole. It isn't that foot is the only thing people are seeing. If that's the case, then of course you take more time on it and you detail it out, you have more 3D elements.
Are we going to see the whole suit or it's finished?
I'll go live tomorrow while I'm at the show. How's that sound? So yes, you will. Tomorrow I'll go live at the show. But tonight, no one is here to put it on. It won't fit me. And my wife said no. And there are other videos where I airbrushed the whole suit and where I did all that.
How many of your creations are for personal use?
%. Most everything that I make, I'm actually selling, or it's for dark hour, you know. But, you know, I make costumes every now and then that are for me. I'll be doing a new Wolfman build here shortly, because my old Wolfman costume is just time for an upgrade.
I can tell it's amazing how 3 colors do so much.
Yeah, I mean, just a few colors will do a lot for you.
What font do you work for?
Dark Hour Haunted House in Plano, Texas.
Saying hi to Skullbergs. Hey, Skullbergs. Right now, oh, fat alien. Right now I'm getting clay out of a mold, and it is torture.
It can be. Yeah, that's not the funnest part of making stuff. Get a power washer. Unless you live where it's cold, then that would suck too. Just adding some detail in there, and I'm changing the color temperature of it. I'm making it closer to black. I don't want it that warmer gray, I want it a darker gray. And I'm liking it. Yo. So let me, what do I do next? Do I do the black on the suit over here? I guess I do. I do the black over here. This is the back of the leg. So it's not the most detailed area in the world. But I do want to establish some anatomy happening. Now in there, they'll get patterned this way.
It looks like it's cold in the shop today.
It's chilly.
Is Dark Hour open tomorrow? I worked at Cutting Edge Fort Worth for 12 years. I love Carl.
Oh, no, Dark Hour is not open tomorrow. Our next open night is not till December 13th. We're taking down our show right now and putting up the holiday show.
hello to Richard Gladden. Hello, Richard. Wreck the Halls, is that the show?
Yeah, Wreck the Halls will be the next show. Okay, we'll do this again. You know what? I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take the covers off and paint them over here. No, I'm not spraying latex paint through the airbrush. I'm actually using ink. I'm using alcohol-based ink, the Pinata inks that I use on masks. Same stuff.
Dead End Yard Pond is coming to Wreck the Halls.
Really? That's awesome, brother. You guys look there, you can see the color of the stilt feet and the suit. So they're going to blend in pretty well, actually, I think. Okay. This will be so much easier to do it this way. And I can see areas that I missed with the spray paint. I may run out of black, but I have another trick that I can do when I do run out of black.
I've never seen a stilt costume before. I'm liking it a lot.
A lot of folks don't make them. It's actually kind of hard to get good stilt costumes. Just for now, prop that up a little bit. And I'm not looking for perfection here on this. All I'm trying to do is break up this fabric so it has patterns that visually tie it into the rest of the costume.
Where do you get high quality stilts?
From me!
I used to walk on those stilts for years.
I actually sell stilts on my website. Honey, do we have stilts on the website?
Nope.
You should get stilts on the website. Because I sell them at shows, and I keep them in stock, so get on it, wife.
Get on you.
Great.
Is there anything you haven't made or done that you'd like to try?
Hang on. Um, I'm going to say no, simply because I haven't thought of it yet. As soon as I think of it, I'll give it a shot. But right now, no. You know, just because as I think of cool stuff to do, I sort of do it. I need to get something up because painting down with an airbrush is kind of hard. So I'm just going to find something to prop this up on.
Psycho Axeman says, "Wife, where's the website?"
What the heck, wife? Okay, I can do this a part at a time by just folding it over this. But if I had two, I could do more than a piece at a time. Do I have another one of those milk crates available? No. Handy dandy chunk of EVA foam.
How many people call me wife?
7. Oh, okay. Airbrush ain't near as bad as spray paint, and it feels clearer in here.
Yeah, it does. Are you spray painting tonight?
What's that?
Are you spray painting later? Or is it just airbrush?
I think it's mostly airbrush at this point.
Great. I was right in the middle of baking polymer clay cones when I got a notification. Cobwebs and toast.
Like you do.
Alan Hirsch says, "I think I will pick you up a respirator mask, Alan, with a microphone. I used to spray ceilings and it can do a number on you. We want you to be around for a long time."
You know, and I actually don't do this near as much as it looks like I do.
Wife, you do a great job fielding questions. Thank you, Bleeding Green for life. See, they're calling me wife.
Of course they are.
Wife.
Your wife.
I'm wife.
Okay, that is one done. fine. It's gonna break it up really nice between the knees and the top of the foot on the stilt. And I know all this is going to be underneath the strap, so I'm not really worried about that.
What part of the Demogorgon is that?
This is from his knee to the top of his foot. If you look over here, you will see this is a stilt cover. It goes right here. Yeah, kind of like that. Let's do the next one.
Alan, you and Shannon are great people. Love your channel and the work you do. Thanks, Bleeding Green for Life.
Thank you very much.
Here's Skullbird. What's the one costume you've made that you wished you wouldn't have? It's okay not to answer.
Carl Cleaver.
You can't get away from him.
Yeah, you know
He
what?
says,
This is.
I bet it's clowns.
I have made a clown costume, but I made clowns before they were cool. 97. I had clown costumes in my line.
What's your favorite music to listen to?
Probably hair metal. I'm a hair metal guy. I like it. Yeah, I don't regret a lot, you know. A lot of times I stew on what I'm making for a long time before I actually do it. So I might be, you know, my brain is concentrating on one project, and I'm having to make a project that, you know, I thought of a couple of years ago. A lot of this is me just seeing if I can remember how I did the other one.
Cinderella, rat, and white snake.
What?
Cinderella, rat, and white snake. That's what.
Yes, all good bands. Now, none of those are my top. I would say Poison, Warrant, Bon Jovi. You know, that's kind of a top three right there. Let's flip it. Let's flip it real good. So I have one of the dumbest things I've ever done is holding pins in my mouth just like that. And if I was done using the pen, I'd stab it into the pin cushion. I'd use it to hold something down, hold one in my mouth, get done with it, stab it in the pin cushion. Get done with one, stab it right into my lip. Oh my gosh, that hurt. It went all the way through. It went all the way through my bottom lip and hit a tooth. Ugh. I hated it.
What is your favorite Halloween or horror movie?
Oh my goodness. Trick or Treat. How can you not love Trick or Treat? That's way up there. Pumpkinhead, one of my favorite monster movies. And I don't like horror movies, for the record. I like monster movies. I require there to be a supernatural element for me to enjoy it. I'm not as big on just like serial killer movies, you know. I can watch that on CNN. So that's not really my forte. But monster movies, you know. Not love a good werewolf movie. I enjoyed Van Helsing. It had a Frankenstein monster version. It had werewolves. It had vampires. It's a fun movie. Okay, who you are?
I'm a Kiss fan myself.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Kiss.
Have you ever had a project fail that you wish you hadn't made?
That I wish I hadn't made? No, I worked on it till it was done and good. I made it work. You know? No, I don't. So when it comes to failure and projects, the only way that you can really fail is if you fail to meet a deadline. Otherwise, why can't you just keep working on it until you get it right? There's no reason why you should abandon a project just because you haven't finished it yet. You know?
I like Kiss. I just wish Paul Stanley would shut the F up and just sing and stop talking for 5 minutes between songs.
Well, don't watch them live. That's the kicker. I like music. I kind of hate concerts because they're gonna say good night, Dallas. You know, all that stuff. There's a lot of talking.
Best movie ever, Trick or Treat. We are not horror fans either. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean that's a rockin' movie. It has a great Halloween feel. It tells several stories interconnected. It's a real fun movie. You know, it's good. If you go back to it's a fantasy movie more than it's a horror movie. But like Willow is such a great movie. So this guy is now done, and these two sides don't look the same at all. Doesn't matter. 8-foot tall monster. No one's gonna notice.
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad! One of the best movies ever made. Let's be honest. Monster Squad is phenomenal.
I've watched Pan's Labyrinth 4 times last month.
Pan's Labyrinth is good. A little depressing. It's a little bit depressing, but it's a good movie.
Still horror.
Del Toro is an excellent visual story.
I must say, this past Halloween was my absolute favorite show of yours. That's Sculptor.
You know what? It was. We did a vampire themed show, and a vampire themed. It's risky because vampires aren't scary. Not anymore. I mean, there's Count Chocula cereal. You know, vampires are so iconic that they're not scary. So we relied a lot on, some nice, cool visuals. And we also, just let our actors do their thing and set them up well. I spent more time this show giving actors easier ways to scare gimmicks, I guess, than I normally do, because I knew that going in with vampires, they're at a disadvantage. Let us get the magenta.
Why do you have a suitcase next to my chat box and not a dollar symbol? I wanted to match Axeman. Psycho Axeman just donated $10.
Oh, thank you, Psycho. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Like, I don't know. It's a surprise when it happens. Um,
Same thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Howling is one of my favorites. It's not Halloween until I've watched it.
Dude, Howling is one of my favorites too, without doubt. I think that's probably the best looking screen werewolf ever.
Twin Oaks says it was just off saying my name. Because you have friends. You have friends in the show.
And I think a lot of the formative vampire stuff was kind of in our prime time, you know, because we had a Lost Boys section. We had Radu from Subspecies in there, so that was fun. Why is it just blue on my screen?
People donating money.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys very much for donating. I really appreciate that. I promise any money donated is just going to go in the shop material like I do. And you guys probably can't even see that it's a little bit of magenta. I'm putting, well, you can't see it because I'm on the other side of the foot, but I'm just putting like a magenta like roadmap on this. I did this on the bodysuit. I knew that anything I did on the bodysuit, I'm going to have to do on, you know, the whole costume. That's nice. But it adds a little bit of a good detail to it. You know, and now you can see that little bit of magenta on there. And you'll see that on the show floor, you know.
Subspecies, classic.
Yes, Radu. We had Radu in the show. You know, Subspecies. We had Blade. We threw a Blade into the show just as a fun aside. You know.
It's a great movie.
Oh, I love it.
You had a Lost Boys in the show.
We did. We had a Lost Boys section. We had. Now, a haunted house is not just a series of movie things, you know. I don't think that's the case. We did way more winks and nods in this show than we normally do. It was much more of a pop culture show because it was vampires. It lended itself to that, and it kind of had to be. We had 30 Days of Night style vampires in there that we did. Because I like that vampire movie. It's a good part of the lore. We also had Vlad Tepes. You know, we had Vlad the Impaler in our show. You don't see that every day.
Cobwebs and Candlesticks donated money.
Oh my goodness, you guys are so nice.
I actually like ginger snaps. I like the design of the werewolf.
I do too. And you know what? I will actually tell you guys my least favorite werewolf design. Dog soldiers. They're almost hairless. They have, you know, pretty much no hair on them aside from their head, and then they have these big hairy feet and hairy forearms. It's very weird. Very weird design. Not a fan. 4 out of 10. Would not recommend. But I like the movie. I just pretend that they're howling werewolves. Anybody remember the old Howling, not the Howling TV show, but the TV show called Werewolf? I think it only had 1 or 2 seasons. And there was a young guy who was bit by this old sailor, Scorzini. And it was it's a trip. Fun stuff. So I need to grab a can of carburetor cleaner. I'll be right back. Wife, want to tell a story? 10-second story.
Dog Soldiers was a good movie, but the design did suck. Oh, gosh. 10-second story. Guys, I don't know that I have a 10-second story. I would just say that every time I try to tell a story, we noticed this the other day, is that every time we tell a story, it has nudity in it. So I've been trying not to tell stories that have nudity where Alan is concerned. Finding it's difficult to do. I'm gonna have to come up with stories.
How I live my life.
But no, but you did. It's just like you getting in the hot tub earlier. You just big windows and neighbors and people walk their dogs and
I had a robe over my shoulder.
you were naked, ever so naked. So I'm gonna have to come up with some stories that have nothing to do with your nudity. I'm gonna have to work on that. Oh.
Okay. Carburetor cleaner is for the airbrush. I'm going from a fuchsia color and I want to put white in.
My personal favorite is the 2010 Wolfman and
That's a good Wolfman. He looks brilliant.
An American Werewolf in London.
And the Benicio Benediction del Toro, what's his name? Benadryl, Benedict Cumberpatch del Toro. That's his name.
I love The Howling. I remember that show.
He did
Had
good.
an annual good time. Scott Coldheart is here.
Hey, Scott. Trying to spray the airbrush onto something, just so I'm not just aerating carburetor cleaner out into the air.
Skullbird. Apparently you like his nudity. Good for you. Alright, Skullbird.
We are married.
I love the lichens from Underworld.
You know what? I like their design too. They're not traditional werewolves, but I'm not going to beat them up over it. They got a little bit cat-like with their features. And if you look up online, William the White Wolf, William from Underworld, that werewolf, he looks amazing. He doesn't look like a lichen at all. He completely looks like a werewolf.
Where did you get that short?
That what?
Psycho Axeman, what did you mean? Where did you get that short? Where did he get that short?
This shirt.
Shirt.
I bet he means shirt.
Where did you get your shirt?
This says Halloween University. Well, here's the sad news. Okay. I remember exactly where I got this from. I got this from the National Haunters Convention in 2012 in New England. Now, that was the last National Haunters Convention that they've had. I think it was purchased by someone else. You know what? I might poke my buddies James and Melissa Winton and say you should do some Halloween University stuff because, well, they should. Yeah.
Is water mixed with acrylic okay for airbrush?
Water and acrylic, yes, absolutely.
With werewolf and silver bullet, in my opinion.
You know, he looked a bit like a bear. Let's be real. The werewolf in Silver Bullet had kind of a bear face. While you're watching the movie, it's perfectly fine. But I have found when looking at the material of the sculpt and, you know, the finished suit and stuff, looks like a bear.
Amazon Video has some decent creature movies. They might be bad movies, but some have some really good designs.
There's a big screen TV over here in the shop, and if I'm not live, it's because I'm watching terrible horror movies on Amazon Prime.
Which other channel?
Oh, I pay for Shudder, and I also have the Full Moon channel to get the full moon movies.
You do?
Yeah. That one was not expensive. Nor should it have been. All right.
Silver Bullet. Good movie, but the werewolf looks like a teddy bear.
A little, yeah. Was Fred Savage in that? Wasn't he the kid in the wheelchair, Fred Savage? Anyway. All right, so I'm gonna do. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Great. Corey Haim was the kid in the wheelchair. Understood. Okay, I have my Bitty Mold Supply catalog, and I love Bitty Mold Supply. It's awesome. But right now, you know what? This is for the Matthew Mungle March 2016. March 16th, 2019. Oh, wait. Has this happened yet? March 2019? Yeah, that's over.
Yeah,
So I can use this.
It was
I was out of town.
No, St. Patrick's Sleigh.
We were open. That's right.
Did you guys like the Werewolf in Fright Night?
I did. I did like the Werewolf in Fright Night. Wasn't the werewolf? Was he in Fright Night 1 or was he in Fright Night 2? He was in 1.
Shudder is good. Crypt TV on YouTube is pretty good as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't watch a ton of YouTube on the big screen.
Technically, the werewolf in Fright Night is a vampire.
Just like the wolf monster in Bram Stoker's Dracula is Dracula, but boy, is that a cool looking werewolf. All right, so
Bitty is a great company.
do you see this that I did right here? This is their card, their advertisement. I normally use Dark Hour coupons, but I don't have any in my shop right now. And I've just made a funnel, but I made a funnel with a backsplash. And I did that so that I can fill my airbrush up with white spray paint. And when I airbrush it, it's not going to go out in the air like spray paint does. It's going to be much finer and more controlled. Let me grab some white spray. 1 minute. Count me down. Alexa, count down 1 minute while I shake weight.
I don't know that one.
Alexa, count down 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
Once the ball is moving, you have to shake it for a good while because it's been out in my car till I brought it in, but it's still cold. I think I see some comments popping up, wife.
I know, I've got some stuff going on here. Where do I find Dark Hour coupons?
The easiest place to find Dark Hour coupons is when you go to Dark Hour, stop by the racetrack right in front of Dark Hour, and there's some on the counter.
You could also spray it upside down into your airbrush cup.
Spray it upside down into my airbrush cup.
Spray that upside down into your airbrush cup.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Make a video. Show me what you mean. Alexa, stop. And I'll show you how I do it. Just goes right in the airbrush. I actually did too much. And because, you know, the propellant really isn't there, you know, you get a lot out of it.
Psycho Axe Man, who is asking about the dark hair coupon, says, I'm in California.
Oh. What do you want a dark hour coupon for? Are you coming to visit?
Twin Oaks Manor. Gotta go watch Disney Plus Mandalorian now. Took me all day to get it set up.
Well, there you go. Enjoy.
Spirit usually hands out your coupon for the purchase too.
Yeah, every spirit in our area has our coupon. Just doing some highlight on this to really bring those toes forward and pop them a little more. Okay. Go back here.
Legend was a great movie when it came to witches, goblins, and fairies, plus Tim Curry as darkness.
Dude, I love Legend. Legend is one of my favorite movies. It's way up there for me. I love it. I think it's wonderful.
Says, youngest fright props, or are you making tacos?
What's the question?
It says, this is Glenn McCain. Youngest fright props, or are you making tacos?
Glenn, are you having a stroke? If you're having a stroke, just smash the keyboard and we'll try and send help. What are you talking about, Glenn?
What's the black mask on top? Behind you, I guess.
Oh, that's a bat mask. It's a bat monster. It happens to be based out.
Kind of like the devil thing. That's asking about that.
Yeah, I make a lot of bat monster costumes, and this is just one of them. I think I have 3 bat mask molds right now. Okay, so that's got some good highlights on those toes. It just brings them out, makes them look a little more fun. Let's do the next one. Right now it's 10 o'clock.
I found a cheap mask on Amazon a while back and put it on an EVA helmet to help shape it.
Cool.
The question I have is, what is a good way to attach EVA foam horns to it?
Contact cement. Contact cement is the way to go.
Basically, I'm turning a cheap mask into a Krampus.
Nothing wrong with that. I do it all the time.
How much is that mask unpainted? I guess the black mask.
The bat mask. A blank is $35 with whatever shipping is to you.
One says, LOL, responding to cobwebs and candlesticks, was supposed to say tongues, stupid autocorrect. He wasn't even talking about it.
Okay.
Thanks, Glenn.
I'm worried about you, Glenn.
What are you worried about, you, Glenn?
This poor man is having a stroke. Did one.
Autocorrect.
That foot is done.
Who's wearing this tomorrow?
Rob Cord.
Rob. Okay. Do you listen to Ghost? I love it.
I have not ever listened to Ghost. No, I haven't. But I don't like just listen to music. I work. And music doesn't teach me anything. So normally I'm listening to an audiobook or I'm watching a new horror movie or something. I'm trying to learn something while I'm doing something. If that makes any sense at all. I'd rather, have a book or whatever. But I like music sometimes.
Psycho Axe Man wants to buy that black mask. It's going to be $12 for shipping.
Okay, Psycho Axeman. Let's late in the day, a little tired. Are you on Facebook, Psycho Axeman?
Just send an email.
Yeah, you could send an email to stiltbestudios @gmail.com. Send that email and we'll get it all squared away if you want to buy that. No problem. How do you know shipping was $12, wife?
Because I've shipped those before.
What if he lives in Russia?
It'll be more.
See?
Sabaton is good music. They sing about historical events.
Well, that's interesting. So, my cast at dark hour, my screen has gotten really dark.
You charging?
I'm charging. My phone is on its last leg, so I have a new one in the mail on the way here. I'm going with one of those military grade, like super tough Kyocera phones. Yeah. And right now what I'm doing is I'm making gloves for our critter. Have to get me some verba claws.
You were about to say about your cast at Dark Hour.
Oh, the cast at Dark Hour took a famous rap battles of history, and it was Vlad the Impaler versus Count Dracula. It alone was hilarious. And then because we had both Dracula and Vlad the Impaler in the show, they did a lip sync version of it. And it is outrageously funny. But I know all the people in it, so maybe it's funnier because I know the people in it. Time to make the monster gloves. Which I should go ahead.
I don't know if I can put a link to a video on there.
Sure you can.
Yeah. Let's
Copy
see.
and paste.
Let's see if I can find it. That was funny.
It's pretty wonderful. I'm plugging in the hot glue gun because that is a necessary step.
Got it.
Okay. 2, 3,
To Hell and Back is about Audie Murphy, the most decorated soldier in U.S. history who happened to be from Texas. The Audie Murphy Museum is right down the road from us.
That's right. There's also the Audie Murphy Memorial Highway,
Yep.
which we drive on.
You know about him. Okay, I posted.
You did?
Line,
That's fun.
Line Cook Thor 2006 Jamie Thaxton says, how's it going now?
It's going great. Here I am, top of the world, making stuff. So I should sand all these fingers down and stuff, but I don't see that happening today. So instead, I'm going to knock my corners off with scissors. I should Dremel these, but time. Okay. Do some others.
What initially brought you to Texas?
My wife. She was not my wife at the time, nor did I know a lot about her. But so working at Skull Kingdom in Orlando year round, I took my vacation time in October. And when I took my vacation time, kind of crappy for an actor to take his vacation time during the busiest time of the year, but I always came back for the week of Halloween. But anyway, so I took my vacation time in order to go to work at different haunted houses all over the country. I might work at a haunt in California. I might work at Spooky World in New England. Did that one year. And one year, I worked at a little haunted house called the Adamsville Terror Complex in Midlothian, Texas. And I was dressed as a giant bat monster. And I was working one night, and my wife came in to the haunted house. She came into the park. I was kind of working outside. And I went up to her and her group of friends, and I scared all of her friends off, and we stared at each other for a little bit, and she said, "You are beautiful." I was in a mask at the time, but I knew the moment that she came in, that was my future wife. I could just tell. So it took me a couple years to convince her of that. But when I got back to Florida, we talked on the phone. Now, I did not give her my phone number that night in person because I was in character. I was working. I was a monster. I don't break character, even though that's my future wife. So I had a security guard give her my cell phone, my email address, and because she was taking pictures with a digital camera, and at that point in time, digital camera knew. And I said, "I don't have any good pictures of me in costume. Could you please send me some copies of those pictures?" Which I knew would give me her email. And when she gave me her email, I ended every email with a question so that she had to write back. So my wife went to a haunted house and got a husband. It can happen, whether you want it to or not. I'm not even sure how my wife feels about the whole thing, but that's how it went down. I've given her no options.
Alan, you slick devil. Way to go.
I know what I like.
She's a good woman because she deals with you.
Hey. I don't know who that was,
That was
but
Psycho X-Man,
but he's right.
my new friend.
Yeah. What time is it?
10:15.
Sweet. These are well on their way. I'll be painting these by 10:45. Then they're done. There are 8 fingers that I have to trim. Well, 10 fingers that I have to trim when I'm making a set of gloves. Again, normally I do it on with a Dremel, but I'm just knocking the corners off. 3 left.
Leftover scrap.
Kind of. This is I make fingers for gloves all the time because I sell gloves to haunted houses, and it's just a design that I came up with that I really like. They're EVA foam fingers for long fingered extension gloves. Oh, here it is. I'll show you. All these fingers are these are claws, but they're all laser cut, so I can just pop them out of that, and they go on the finger of a glove like that. Easy peasy. But these are not claws. These ones I'm using now, these are long fingers because the Demogorgon is not particularly clawed. He has claws, but they're not like crazy claws like I like my werewolf claws. The werewolf claws that I do, that I just showed you, I modeled those off of the 2010 Wolfman movie with Benicio del Taco. Pretty sure that's his name. Yeah, he's one of those actors who's like gives every guy hope. It's like that dude's famous and he looks kind of like a frog. So that means I could get famous. I think Hollywood keeps some actors out there just to, just to keep everybody's hopes up. Like Steve Buscemi, not an attractive man, very, very famous, and very talented. I love his movies. All right, if we're lucky, the hot glue gun is heated up, and I will be able to attach these fingers on here. But first, these gloves have like the Husky label on them and whatnot. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to cut out the tag.
I dig that. Cost effective. And then Fat Alien said you already are famous.
Oh no.
When I make ghosts, I always give them claws and ghastly teeth.
That's good. I like ghastly teeth and claws on my ghosts.
Hey, Mr. Hops, hope you're doing well, my friend.
Hello.
Got your last pig mask, and it looks amazing.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, piggins are discontinued. I broke the mold on those. Okay, just want to get this off of here. Another glove to do. Get this husky bit off. Okay.
We make the pigs.
Shannon says no.
You don't have a. You don't have,
Well, I can't make. I could sculpt a new one.
oh yeah, but you don't have a mold.
I could sculpt a new one, but I can't just pour one up because I broke the mold for it.
Right.
It could be remade.
You could have to just make a brand new one.
Right.
Question is, would you make it look exactly like the old one?
Probably improve it a little. I
I
think
heard
that's-
you broke the mold for that mask. Sorry to hear that.
I did. Well, I had sold a lot of them, and the mold was starting to lose a little bit of detail. So whenever you do this, you burn the hell out of your hand with hot glue. Or at least I would if I had a lot of feeling left in my hands. Luckily, I don't. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 10:21 p.m.
That's a serious glue gun.
Oh, yes. This is one of the best glue guns in the world. This is the Sure Bonder 350 watt temperature adjusting manual glue gun. I feel strongly about it. Okay, so that's 4 fingers on there. You know, that's a nice hand. Ain't no Gary Fay hand, but it's a really good hand. You might hear what you think are gunshots. Not gunshots, acorns falling onto the roof of my shop, which is a metal roof. It sounds like we are drawing some heavy fire. Fear not, my friends. Fear not.
Steve Buscemi has tons of respect from me. When 9/11 happened, he went to New York and worked with his old firehouse. He didn't try to make it a publicity stunt.
Oh, absolutely. Steve Buscemi is awesome. He's also just homely. That's all I was saying. He's an amazing guy, and he's a great actor. I love his work. And he's proof that you can make it in Hollywood and not necessarily be super stupid attractive, which I think is lovely.
I never thought of that with gloves. So creepy.
Yeah. One of my better inventions, I'll say.
Those are awesome. Love it. I understand the heavy gloves, the light ones would melt.
Yes. Yeah, these are fabric. They have leather palms. These are nice gloves. Have you guys? I'm gonna come a little closer to you so I can show you this detail. I just did on the back of that glove. Just something to break it up, make it not look as humany fingery.
You rock.
That was it.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
So I think you should tell everybody what you wore to the party today.
I wore my Yeti Christmas sweatshirt with a Yeti busting through a wreath, wearing a Santa hat. It was a pajama. Well, it was like a onesie party, basically, is what they said. But I wore pajamas. And I have some Yeti sleep pants.
And slippers.
And I have some Yeti slippers. So I was decked out in Yeti paraphernalia. And then I went to Home Depot and got some looks. But I am firm in my adultiness. So I were not concerned. I'm just making an interesting looking hand. That's my only goal here, guys.
Does that not burn?
It burns. Don't get me wrong. Burns like a son of a gun. Hence, spray bottle full of cold water.
Jonesy.
What's up, buddy?
Hi, buddy. Jones. Jones.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with how this glove looks right now. I, of course, am going to detail it a little bit more. And this was the left glove. I'm mostly right-handed. Therefore, it'll be hard for me to do the other glove. But we will persevere. And I want to hit this with some paint.
Jonesy. We have the kitty cat visiting.
And I painted the glove gray first because I wanted the hot glue won't take paint well. So if I paint some black on it now, I can just rub off the paint on the hot glue and the gray shows through underneath. So
You mean the years of using your hand to see if the heat gun is hot hasn't deadened your nerves?
not on the back of my hand, like the back of the fingers. And every now and then I'll get like hot glue in between my fingers. That just sucks. I don't care who you are, that sucks. I need to put a little more white into the herbish. Just gonna hit some white highlights on this. Just change that hand up a little bit. How's that look, wife?
Let me sit back. Oh, it looks good. It's real good.
Okay. Pop this sucker off. I'll let it dry.
You gonna make that 10:45 deadline?
Yes. I got 15 minutes.
Will all this be dry tomorrow for you to take it to the show?
Sure.
What? Yeah, you'll have to go live.
There we go.
Oh!
Monster hand. You are a whiner.
Chelsea, come on. Kicking. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hi.
That is Jones, one of our cats. Is he a good boy? Is he really a good boy?
Well,
Let's watch again. All right. I can operate the glue gun as long as I can with my right hand. It took me a real long time to find what I believe is the perfect finger length, finger shape, thickness of foam to get these gloves down. And all the proportions being right are a big part of how they look in the end. Look pretty cool all together. I'm excited. All right, very cool. Last finger. Last finger. I gave you hot glue. The very next day, I had a blister. Okay, here we go. I just at this stage, I just really want to just play with them. You know, just nice creepy hands. I love it. Okay.
Alan Hirsch says he wishes he was going.
Well, I wish you were going too.
Nice hand. Can the ghost have hands like that? Is this the sheet ghost?
Yeah, you're obsessed with sheet ghosts. I'll put claws on it, but yes.
Now this is banging out a product.
Oh yeah, none of this guy existed 3 days ago. This whole suit. I'm gonna have, at the end of tonight, if I stop by 11, I will have 15 hours in this total.
That's how I drew them, and with a lipless mouth filled with teeth.
If you have a drawing, then send me a drawing. That would be cool.
No, Mr. Hops, no Christmas carols.
I was actually singing about fingers, which is to the tune of A Christmas Carol.
Whamageddon.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I kind of did.
I don't think that counts.
No, that wasn't even the right song. I was making crap up. My choice to draw circles on the knuckles on the last glove was a very poor choice. It causes lots of pain. We're going to have to take a little blister break. There we go. The trick will be just to get this, all the stitching and stuff that's on the glove, to just blend into the pattern that I'm making. So it all just seems like part of the glove's plan, or the monster hand, I should say.
How many cans of grape spray paint did you buy yesterday?
I bought 4, knowing I would need about 2 to finish this project.
What time will you be live at the show tomorrow?
We're meeting at dark hour at 10, so I probably won't get down there and ready till about 11:30 a.m. This kitty? I see that kitty.
Maybe a rubber glove under the glove?
That'd help. That's what a smart person would do.
Look at my Deviant Art GeoRed 2020 for a drawing of the ghost.
Post a link. And not right there, because right there is going to be really hard for me to find. Send it to my stiltbeast at Gmail, or stiltbeaststudios at Gmail. Send it there. Just send the link, and then I will look it up. But it's actually kind of difficult for me to go back and look at things written in messages.
Says he doesn't know how.
You don't know how to email? Copy paste? Type what you just typed in an email? You're killing me, Smalls.
Call Paul. Paul's a call.
Calm down the hot glue. Gotta cool it right down. Cool it down, cool it down, cool it down. Cool it right down. I apologize for that. That was white. Didn't mean to spread white on there. Just going for gray. Let's hit it with black. Fix it up. All my spray paint cans look the same. Easy fix though. Can't even tell I sprayed it with white.
Then hands for at sunflower. The art of Daniel. What did you mean?
Something in the water tonight. Look at those monster hands we just made. That's pretty cool.
They are cool. They sure are cool.
Know what else they are, wife?
Done.
By 10:45.
Woohoo!
As promised in the brochure. 10:42.
Jordan, I've posted the email address to you in the thread just now. Right under your name, you can see it, stiltbstudios@gmail.com.
It's important to have cool looking hands. I think.
I missed what glove you used. Anything special?
Like a mechanic's glove. It's got a leather palm. It's got one of these little wrist tab Velcro-y things. And it used to be that color. All right. I have one thing left to build on this, and that is a neck gaiter thing, just to cover the back of the head. Wife, could you tell a story while I go upstairs and see if I have one ready to go? Because that'd be awesome.
Yep.
Thank you, wife.
First, Joshua, here is our email address. stiltbeaststudios@gmail.com. Right there. That is a way to send any information or a picture to Alan so he can see the design you're talking about. He won't be able to find a link in this thread. It gets buried too quickly. But if you will send it to this email address, then he will be able to see what it is you're talking about. But this thread on YouTube moves so fast that it'll get buried and he'll never get a chance to see it. Okay. So we have a tradition here that at Thanksgiving, on Thanksgiving Day, I cook a turkey and Alan gets to pick the turkey out. So as usual, he picks the biggest turkey he can possibly find. And I say, whatever turkey you want, I will cook it. And he always gets, 20, 22, 24 pound turkey. Biggest turkey he can physically get his hands on. After the turkey is cooked, it gets decorated. and it gets decorated with pumpkin teeth and monster eyes and all kinds of terrible things. So, if you follow us on Facebook or on Alan's Facebook page or on Instagram, we promise, because now people wait for this turkey every day. We will post a picture of this year's Thanksgiving turkey.
Oh, I'll decorate the
So
turkey.
you got to decorate the turkey. I've already got people who have been asking about it and have been wondering if you're going to do the turkey again this year. And of course you are, because I'm going to make a turkey. So you have to be prepared. Thanksgiving, we will do our traditional Still Beef Studios turkey. Back to you, Alan.
I have a head sock, which will greatly help in what I'm doing.
You're so silly.
But now I'm going to grab a head form. I'm going to add a little bit of fabric to it because I don't know for sure that this will be enough. It'll be long enough to cover that back of the head. However, I am sure that I can make it work.
Another great night. Thank you. Work gloves from Home Depot. You're a genius. Never ceases to inspire us with your work.
Woohoo!
Now is it time for the dog? I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not making a dog. He wants me to make a demo dog for tomorrow.
Hey, you helped me make my first ever plaster mold for a mask. Thank you.
I did?
It is Mason Sherman. Sure it is.
Oh, I remember that. I remember your name.
So you put teeth on the turkey.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it going to be a smoked turkey?
Will not be a smoked turkey. We have had smoked turkeys in the past, but when we had it, it was cold smoked turkey, and I wasn't a fan of that.
But you like roasted turkey and then you decorate it.
Yeah. Remember that nothing ever comes finished. This neck gaiter was, it'll do the job, but it wasn't the right color. I like its kind of bagginess.
I made it, loving these marathon builds.
Yeah, these are no joke. This kind of build. This is a little extension for it. This is a nice stretchable fabric. So I'm going to make I'm going to glue it to make it a tighter loop. But it'll go down over Rob's head and make a turtleneck, kind of. Yeah.
Guys in Texas, smoky meat low and slow. I do.
Yeah, my wife has a smoker and she smokes meat and it's delicious. But a turkey ought to be oven cooked. I'm upping the heat on the hot glue gun because I want it now to go down in the fabric.
turkey is the best.
I disbelieve.
It was an Eric mask from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning. Turned out great, but I forgot the screwdriver holes to split the mold. But had 4 hours on Halloween to paint, stitch, and hair.
Wow. Also a marathon build. Little silicone mat here, and this is going to help me press down the hot glue without burning the crud out of my fingers.
Scott Colhart says, come to Minnesota and I will grill one for you.
You know what? Let's see how that works out. When's the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, Scott? When does that happen?
August.
Okay.
You're not doing anything in August.
It's a busy time, August. But you know what? If we did a show in Minnesota, we do a lot of actor training that time of year. And I'm just hot gluing this fabric together. This is a purchased infinity scarf that has some stretch to it. It's big, so it kind of go around your head and whatnot. I am trimming it down because I don't need all of it.
When is the next big show you will be in, Alan?
Trans World, March. Okay, so now I have this ridiculously long piece, but I know that this is going to be able to go on his head, tuck into the costume.
I got this. It's kitty. Oh.
Then the hood can go on. Now I have no neck at all, but you know, now you can see that this will cover the head, no problem.
Are those Krampus demons in the back? Look
Yeah.
amazing. Love the matted hair and sheep horns.
Thank you. I'm a fan of them also. We're getting it closer to the color of the suit. Almost looks like a sleeve. So it's going to be a really nice and a wrinkly neck hide. Okay, that's a good gray color. Hot glue actually holds up really well on fabric.
It is a good boy. Here's my best good boy.
Just doing some lines on here to break it up so it has a bit of that striated look like the other one, like the other pieces of the costume do. I don't think you'll see them per se. But now it's much closer to the color of the suit, and when that's all wrinkled up, that's going to have a nice look to it. Don't think I'll need this one. I'll leave this one too. Covers the back of the head, covers the neck. That's going to work. Demogorgon, done. Okay, so in case you guys didn't see, the Demogorgon head and neck are right here. The suit is hanging up over there. The feet we made earlier today. You saw them get built and painted. And then the covers that go in between the stilt.
Does the spray paint stiffen the fabric at all?
A little bit. I like that. Yeah, both in this instance, which it made it stiffer. And this is basically from his knee down to the actor's foot. It's a bridge piece in between the real foot. Okay, so that's the whole Demogorgon, guys. Dishes are done, dude. So, made a Demogorgon. I started on it Thursday, and it's done. And tomorrow I get to see it be alive and walking around. It's kind of cool. So, thank you guys, everybody, for hanging out with me. Wow, there's 44 of y'all on. That's awesome. We did 2 hours tonight, so I've got 15 hours in this Demogorgon total. Don't think that's bad. So, well, Mason, thank you. Guys, good night. I'm going to go sleep so I can be fresh in the morning. Go make stuff.